In 3, 2, 1, welcome to another exciting episode of Buddy Talks. Here today we have our good friend Brandon.
What up, y'all?
Brandon.
Randy.
Yeah. We got a topic that we've kind of gone back and forth with some people for several years.
Yeah.
And we're going to discuss it further. But before we get to that, I just want to thank you guys for tuning in. Go ahead and give us a 5-star rating and a written text review. That's going to help Buddy Talks get out there and give more digital hugs, rounding out the WTF block.
Because those are the best kinds of hugs.
Indeed. So don't forget Buddy Talks. There's Inner Honest Opinion and AdamAnalyzes.com. I almost messed up that one.
It's on my earphone.
Indeed. Yeah, go ahead and give us all those ratings and 5 stars and written text reviews so we can give digital hugs for everyone.
The love.
All the love. Brandon, you know what time it is. It's time for that vibe check.
Hey.
How's it going with you, man?
I'm doing all right. It's been a weird beginning to the year.
Yeah?
I think it's just, as the word that comes to mind when I describe it is doldrums.
Okay.
Like, it's kind of that, I don't know how PG-13 we are here, but it's like...
Oh, you can let it fly.
So, like, you're familiar with post-nut clarity.
Yes.
It's like post-nut clarity, but it's like the holidays.
Oh, gotcha.
You know what I mean?
Post-holiday clarity?
Post-holiday clarity, where it's like...
I think in Japan they actually had a term for it.
For real?
Yes. It's that clarity you had, like, right afterwards.
And it's like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
Like, and I mean... The thing is we were all so excited coming into the new year and getting out of the holidays and all of that, but it's like, well, now it's real.
Yeah.
It's no longer a fire drill, so that's where I'm at. But I mean, aside from that, I think I'm doing okay. You know, you know what? I was going to say making my way downtown, but I'm not going to do it.
No? You sure?
No.
You're not walking fast?
Nope, we're not doing it.
Faces aren't fastened?
We're not going down that road.
Are you homebound? Is that road leading you homebound?
We're not going there. I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. But
Okay.
yeah, how are you?
Me? Oh, I'm actually doing all right. I've just been, it's like I feel the calm before the storm, before things just really ramp up.
Maybe that's what it is.
And I think that's what I'm kind of going through right now. It's like I know there's a bunch of things that I'm getting prepped for, and I know it's about to just like pick up and get crazy.
Oh, so you're just going to yeet yourself into whatever
Pretty
you're
much.
going to do.
Yeah. And that's, I know that's going to be happening. And I'm just trying to stay afloat.
Nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you just got to keep your head above water.
Yeah.
And I know that feeling. You don't want to sink. I had a lot of stuff towards the end of the year on the professional side, just kind of not go crazy, but it just kind of all came out. And I'm kind of, like I said, with the post-nut clarity, like the woo-saw moment. But
Yeah.
It's like, you're right. It's like an ominous kind of, not necessarily ominous, but it's just like a calm.
Yeah.
For the
It's like
impending.
what next?
Exactly.
What's about to happen?
But yeah, you know, I feel like the last time we did this, it was like, oh man, it's almost a new year, and now it's almost February. So
Yeah. We're already full swing. There's maybe a week left in January.
yeah.
So, and next thing you know, blink and we'll miss it. We're gonna be in May.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, oh my goodness, we finally have another holiday off from work.
Yay.
Yeah.
I gotta take
Summertime.
some PTO. I gotta take some PTO.
We should. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. I'm not sure how much PTO you have, but we should take a day and do a trip. Go out, go to Super Saiyan, and just hang out.
I'm about that life.
And just like, it'll be something that we just do.
Just randomly.
Yeah, just like, you know
Okay,
what?
we doing this.
This is what's happening.
This is a thing.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm down for that.
Yeah.
I'm super down for that.
Yeah, we're going to have to do that.
Super Saiyan is delicious.
Yeah, I
Love that place.
need to go there. I need to go there. But you actually hit me up on this topic.
I did.
And it's something I know that we've discussed with Lou. We've actually discussed at length with a bunch of people.
We have.
Go ahead and, I'll let you go ahead and introduce it.
All right. So essentially what I'm wanting to discuss today is whether or not platonic friendships can exist between individuals who could be attracted to each other one way or the other.
Yeah. So, in other words, someone has feelings, possibly the smallest inkling of feelings.
Right.
Can they be just friends?
Right.
Okay.
And for a long time, my stance was no.
Yeah.
And then some things that happened to me on a personal level changed my stance slightly.
Really?
And then more things happened after the fact that changed my stance back. And I don't, and here, let me clarify for those of us that, or for those of you that don't know what I mean. When I say platonic, I mean there are no romantic feelings at all. Like, there can't be something in the corner of your mind. There can't be some far off wish. Somebody that was going through something similar to this that I am friends with said something about fantasy land. None of that.
That's an interesting way to put it.
Yeah, that's a very interesting way to put it. But I just don't think it's possible, and it's unfortunate because it creates a situation on both sides of the equation that makes it difficult for people that are just trying to maintain a friendship with someone.
Yeah.
And it also makes it difficult for the person or persons in the situation that may be looking for a relationship, but not with somebody who's in the air quote friend zone.
Yeah.
You know, like, it creates a lot of weird trust issues. It creates more awkwardness than anything else.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested to know if it's just me, because I've been told that it's a just me thing. And
just you, what?
Feeling that people can't be friends platonically. But then again, most people don't know what is meant by a completely platonic friendship.
Yeah. Now, when you're saying feelings, is this do both parties, are they aware of the feelings in the air, or is it something that one's keeping secret?
In this case, in all the cases that I've been in or that I've been privy to, in most cases, it's something that only one person is feeling that the other person doesn't know about. And usually when it gets weird is when the person that...
When it's open.
When the Band-Aid's ripped off.
Yeah.
Because you've built that level of comfort with your friend.
Yeah.
And now it's like, oh, you know, I have different expectations than what this actually is.
Yeah.
Now, there are people that will say, oh, you know, you see it a lot on social media. Oh, I married my best friend, and, you know, I did this and I did that, and there's no such thing as the friend zone, and da-da-da-da-da. I am one of the few people that would love for there to be a very open, honest, clearly borderline friend zone so that I know what to expect. I know what to tell people to expect, and I know that there are no expectations of me in that situation. Like, on a personal level, without getting into too much detail, I had a friend who she wasn't ugly. She was an attractive person, but on my side of the aisle, we were just friends.
Yeah.
And that's all it was a friendship. And it wasn't until we had lost contact for some time and then randomly messaged each other through Facebook or something, maybe for a birthday. I don't remember specifically what it was.
Yeah.
But it kind of came up that me and my friend were, you know, we were good friends and we would like walk around and talk and stuff like that. But I had brought up the fact that a lot of our mutual acquaintances thought that there was something more than a friendship there.
Yeah.
And the other person on the person on the other side of the conversation was like, well, yeah, you know, the idea ran in my mind a couple times. And I'm like, see, I don't know what signals I sent other than just being nice or whatever the case may be, but it's such a dangerous slippery slope, man, because people can get hurt feelings and not even know.
Yeah.
And that to me is super dangerous.
Yeah. Yeah, I think based on this, it's very difficult because especially I don't think if there's feelings and emotions there, having a platonic relationship isn't a thing that happens.
Why?
Someone's going to end up getting hurt 9 times out of 10.
You're right.
Yeah.
But like, let's say, like one of my hobbies is basketball.
Yeah.
Right. And I have a group of people that I regularly play basketball with Saturday morning. Shout out to the Saturday morning crew.
Yeah.
But there are no disrespect to anybody, but I am a heterosexual male.
Yeah.
I'm also married.
Yeah.
There are no women in the group.
Yeah.
Right? Now, there have been instances where, like, I'll be walking out of work, I'll be walking out of here, or walking out of a friend's house or something, and it's like, yo, we're going to hoop, and, a female will be like, hey, can I go? And it's like, I don't have a problem with it.
Yeah.
But there are other people that would.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And one, why are you coming?
Yeah.
It's like, can you hoop? If you can play, you can come play. I don't really care.
What's your angle? What are you trying to do?
Exactly. And the problem is that question right there. Like, what's your angle? Like, you shouldn't have an angle other than stepping on the floor and want to shoot a couple shots.
Yeah.
Now, I will tell you, as an aside, me and the Saturday morning crew were privy to a guy and what I assume was his girlfriend playing one-on-one at USF.
Yeah.
And she was an attractive woman, but she had to have played for the team because she was giving him the business.
Yeah.
And no disrespect, maybe she wasn't. I'm sure there are very, very attractive women out there who can play basketball. Again, I'm not trying to disrespect anybody. But the way that our minds work, it just wouldn't go there. It's almost like the car girl mentality or the gamer girl mentality.
Yeah.
I don't think these things exist platonically.
Yeah.
Now, I will say that there's a difference between platonic and healthy.
Yeah.
Like, there are healthy ways to go about it.
Yeah.
But I think that it's a dangerous game of, like, emotional Russian roulette.
It is.
It is.
Yeah. Like, for instance, let's say Ted. Okay. Ted has a thing for Carol.
Okay.
Okay. They've been friends for a long time. Carol has no idea.
Right.
Ted's been there. Like, whenever Carol breaks up with her boyfriend, Steve.
Right.
Ted was the guy she went to. Ted was always wishing he was Steve.
Right.
Was never able to be Steve. He's like, you know what? I'm going to shoot my shot. Carol's like, whoa.
Yeah.
This is not what I was about. And then that 9 times out of 10, that relationship sunk.
Yeah.
Because Carol is going to feel awkward about everything now because she doesn't want to lead Ted on. And then by doing that, she's inadvertently hurting. She's doing the exact thing that she's trying not to do.
Exactly.
Ted's just feeling like crap because, he finally shot a shot.
He shot a shot.
And nothing happened
Whiffed.
there. Yeah. And then Steve ends up getting back with Carol. And then it's just total mayhem.
Yeah. It's awkward.
Yeah.
And that's why I think, because I think a lot of people are like, oh, well, if we can't be platonic friends, we can't be friends. And that's not what I'm saying.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is once you can accept something for what it is, you can have a healthy relationship.
Yeah.
You just can't move into these other avenues.
Yeah.
I've had some good friends that have been just like, they feel like they've been led on, or they feel like they got some mixed signals, or they feel like, whatever the case may be. Like, something that a lot of people don't or may not know about me is the second half of my college education, I was roommates with a girl. Mm-hmm. And I thought it could work normally. And halfway through the living situation, just because of proximity, started catching feelings.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is a bummer.
Yeah.
Because I know for a fact this can't go anywhere. and I bottled it and bottled it and bottled it, and finally I let that bottle like explode.
Yeah.
And it wasn't healthy.
Yeah.
Like it wasn't a healthy situation. Now, the funny part about it is years later, we're not great friends, but we're still
acquaintances,
friends.
Yeah,
you know
okay.
what I mean? Like, if I saw her like walking down the street, or if she happened to be in Florida, I'd be like, "Hey, what's up?" And she would probably say the same thing. And you know, it would just be normal. It wouldn't be as awkward.
Mm-hmm.
But at the time, like the initial falling out was the third or fourth most awkward thing I have ever experienced in my life.
Okay, so we'll call her Lucille.
Okay.
So Lucille, you told her how you felt?
It was very weird.
Yeah.
Like, what actually happened with Lucille is we had been living together for a while.
Yeah.
And Lucille had no problem finding partners.
Okay.
And there was an evening, and I still hadn't said anything. There was an evening where Lucille had a partner come by,
Mm-hmm.
and a couple of partners come by. And the thing with Lucille,
Like at the same time?
Well, she had a partner come by, and then a friend bring another partner.
Okay, gotcha.
And the thing with Lucille is that the partners that she was looking at the time were spoken for, if you will.
Okay.
It was just very awkward situations. So in my mind, being somebody that's like, you know, not only do we live together, but I'm available.
Yeah.
It started to like hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And when I lived, you know, I won't lie, I was a super materialistic person when I was in college.
Yeah.
So most of the stuff in our apartment was my stuff.
Yeah.
So when you come home and you see someone that you have a crush on, well, back then we didn't have Netflix, but essentially Netflix and chilling on your television, on your couch, in your living room with not you, that shit stings.
Yeah.
And I kind of went into my room and had a small tantrum. It wasn't very public, but it was definitely like it was obvious.
Did you go all Kylo Ren?
Yeah. Like I didn't... Well, I certainly didn't slice up the walls, but I definitely like went in there and kind of put on some super loud music, like just loud enough to be stupidly obnoxious. And in hindsight, I would go back and tell 20-year-old me, like, "You're such an idiot. Like, you're so dumb."
Yeah.
But I was hurt.
Yeah.
And she had no idea why.
Yeah.
And then finally, like, I ended up with her friend that was there with her. I told her. And she had to like sit me down and explain how it actually worked.
Mm-hmm.
Now, as an aside, growing up, I had never been like a ladies' man.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and I know I've said that on here before. Like, it's always been like cars, games, basketball, whatever. But I've never been able to read or interpret signals, let alone mixed signals. So for me, if there was somebody who I found attractive, we were friends. Like it was going no further than that in my mind.
No.
But this was an instance where it was probably not, it wasn't the first time that like feelings had presented themselves, but it was the first time that I had, as an adult, experienced like a weird kind of ass backwards form of rejection. Yeah. And like my little brain wasn't ready for it. Yeah. You know, now I know how to deal with it in a healthy way. Yeah. And it's not an issue for me per se, but I feel like I still see a lot of it going on.
Yeah. It was one of those things that you had to get her to learn.
Yes. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You had to deal with that in order to kind of learn to handle that in the future. Yeah. It sucks. Don't get me wrong. It's a terrible situation.
I mean, yeah, you're right.
But it's one of those things that has to happen, unfortunately.
And things worked out.
Yeah.
Like, things definitely worked out. And like I said, I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'm not going to talk about the other friends that I know of that are going through something similar. But I had somebody as early as, or as recent as month and a half, 2 months ago, kind of go through something similar. And it's like, I feel like the friendship can exist as long as there are very, very clearly established boundaries.
Okay.
And that way, if you start with the clearly established boundaries, it's less likely to create hurt feelings based on mixed signals later on down the road.
Okay. All right. I'd like to change my answer. I feel a friendship can happen. However, these two individuals need to be on another level of maturity.
You're right.
There needs to be a level of maturity that cannot falter.
Right.
And two like actual mature adults can do this. It's not going to be easy by any means.
No.
Because like you said, you were hanging out, they were Netflix and chilling without Netflix and chilling, and it threw you for a loop.
Yeah.
Now, I've been in situations where I've had crushes and everything, and I'm wanting to say something, but I'm just like, I don't want to mess up what we have going on. I don't want to mess this up at all. And it's just like you're stabbing yourself in the chest repeatedly whenever you see them in a relationship elsewhere.
Exactly.
Now, it's something that most people probably can't do. That's why my initial reaction was like, no, they can't be friends.
Right.
But in reality, yes, it can happen, because in thinking back, I had a crush and it didn't happen, and we were able to be friends, and we're actually still friends to this day.
Right.
They have their own thing going, their own life. I have my own life. We see each other periodically.
Right.
But there's nothing there. I think I kind of realized it wasn't what I thought it was. And I was just like, you know what? That's fine. And I'm fine with that. And I went down my own path.
Right.
And so I bucked all those feelings. None of that exists anymore.
That's good.
And now I'm just like, what was I thinking? But I think in my mind, it was the circumstance and the situation.
Right.
Because it was someone that I was around all the time.
Exactly.
We were really close friends. And I think I caught feelings because of that. It's like, man, this person seems to have like a lot of these qualities that I like. Holy crap, I think I like this person. But I think I was mistaken. I think I was more infatuated with the idea rather than the actual reality.
Right. And that happens more often than you think.
Oh, it happens a lot.
Yeah.
It happens a whole lot. I see it all the time. And it's a really crappy situation for a lot of people to be in, because once that line gets crossed,
you can't go back.
You cannot go back. There is no going back.
Right.
It's the whole Ted and Carol thing.
Yeah.
It's just going to be 9 times out of 10, if they're going to move forward, it's going to be one of those things that no one's ever going to speak of ever again.
Yeah. And the thing is it kind of becomes the new normal.
Yeah.
Like it's just that bomb went off and we rebuild from the shattered remains of what was.
Yes.
And it sucks. It sucks to watch, because like I am, without giving anything away, I'm kind of watching two people go through it now.
Yeah.
And it sucks. Like it genuinely sucks. Because I've been there and I know what that hurt feels like.
Oh yeah.
And I know what it's like to not have the emotional maturity to be able to deal with it.
Mm-hmm. And
so like for a long time I avoided it, and people called me weird. Like I can remember times when like my boys, some of my boys that you might not know, they'd be going out and it's like, oh, we're going out, we're doing this, we're doing that. So and so is coming, and it's like, this one's not for me.
Yeah.
And they're like, why? And it's like, I don't really want to be around that.
Yeah.
And they're like, is it a preference thing? Like, are you gay? And I'm like, well, no. I just don't want to put myself in a position where I start something and I start to feel a certain type of way, and then it gets thrown in my face because this person just needs a ride home or whatever the case may be.
It's like you're standing over a dumpster full of tinder and you have a match in your hand.
Why set that off? And they
Exactly.
used to think, because I recently discovered the word incel. And
Oh my God.
they used to think that it was because I was some sort of incel or that I hated women, and it's none of that. I just don't. I want to protect myself from doing something to myself.
Yeah.
Like if Marvin, you know me well enough to know that a lot of my damage is self-inflicted.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I put myself in these stupid positions and end up hurt as a result of contorting myself either physically or emotionally.
Yeah.
And I just choose not to do that, or chose not to do that in the past. And it came off as being very standoffish, but sometimes you have to do it that way. Like that's just an unfortunate side effect of what I call mental and emotional intelligence.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes it's like the whole song. You got to know when to hold them, know when to fold them.
Exactly.
You just have to walk away.
Yeah.
You just have to sometimes, because you take a step back and you see all the variables, and it's like watching a car crash. If you follow through, it's like you know what's happening, you know what's going to occur, but you're just heading straight for it, and you're not going away. And the thing is, why are you going to continue on this path? Why, when you know full and well
it's not going to end well,
that it's not going to end well? Why put yourself through it?
Exactly. And it sucks because now in my later years, I've evolved to a point mentally to where I feel like I can do it.
No.
Now, regardless of whatever the signals are that are being sent or whatever the universe, if you will, is putting out there, I know where I'm at.
Yeah.
And I'm just not, like, I can be friends with somebody who may or may not be attractive. Well, one, because I'm in something that prevents me from being able to do that, which is a whole nother discussion about polyamory and all that other nonsense.
Yeah.
Well, let me not say nonsense because I don't want to offend anybody.
Yeah.
But two, like, I just know how, even if I was not spoken for, I know now how to handle a friendship with someone who essentially just, with someone who potentially I could be attracted to.
Yeah.
Almost stumbled over my words there.
Yeah. Yeah, and the thing is, you got to that point because you dealt with all the other stuff.
Exactly. So sometimes you gotta, you gotta kind of yeet yourself into some bad situations and kind of go through some pains. But
Oh yeah.
I think it can happen, and it can happen healthily. It just takes a level of maturity that you rarely see these days.
You really, really don't. And the thing is, I think the people who are mature enough and are able to do it are the ones that have been hurt in the past from it.
Yeah.
They kept barreling down that path, knowing full and well they shouldn't, but they couldn't stop themselves. And they ended up paying the price.
It's true. It's true.
So now they kind of know, well, I know not to do that because it does not end well.
Huge facts.
Because, I mean, I know I've been there. That's kind of why I'm like, it's not a good idea. Some of this stuff is not a good idea.
No, it really isn't. And it's just, who knows what the actual future holds? Like, as far as, like, I'll be honest with you and say that, like I've said in the past, 2019 was an emotional roller coaster of a year for me.
Yeah.
And to be completely honest with you and the audience, like, I still have not fully recovered from it. And I don't know if I ever will. But a big part of moving forward was leaning on my friends.
Yeah.
And relying on my friendships. But most, my healthy friendships. And that's when I had somewhat of a self-epiphany where I was like, am I a terrible friend? Am I a terrible friend to people who have been amazing friends to me? And then where that went was, I have a lot of really good friends. And then where that went was, pretty much all of my friendships are healthy.
Yeah.
Now, there are people that I have lost contact with that I wish I hadn't.
Yeah.
Because all of my friendships at this point in my life are very healthy.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, I personally don't feel like any story is really ever over.
Mm-hmm.
And when those people are ready to be reintroduced to your life, it may take days, it may take years, it may take months, it may take weeks, who knows.
Mm-hmm.
But there are some of us, you don't realize the importance of having a friendship, just any sort of friendship with somebody until like you kind of hit rock bottom and you feel like I have no one to confide in. Now, you can go pay a therapist, which is something that I was doing for quite some time.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, like, you know, like you and I have talked about in the past, your buddies, buddy talks, are they're important. They're super, super important. And the whole reason that I wanted to bring this up is because I feel like there's so much to learn from, or there's so many friendships to save from toxicity.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, depending on how things unfold in the future, maybe you do end up marrying your best friend, or maybe you do end up, you know, trying something, or maybe they shoot their shot at you and it's something that you've been waiting for forever. And it's like, yeah, let's take it to the next level. And, or maybe you guys just spend the rest of your life as friends, and that has to be okay. But I think it's very important that kind of the crux of this whole thing is we have to be very careful not to cut people out of our lives because of biology, if you will, or because of psychology.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if it's a toxic friendship, or if it's something that has been rebuffed, because I got a homie that like just couldn't quite take the hint, then that's something where it's like, yeah, we probably need to just like cut ties here altogether. But at the end of the day, like, we all have to come together, man. Like, sometimes I feel like we forget we're all on the same team. Like, we're all just trying to live. Yeah. You know? But it's important for people to realize that it's okay to be friends with somebody that you're attracted to. Yeah. And just kind of be platonic, or let me not say platonic, but just
understand that nothing may happen that
exactly have a healthy understanding of what the friendship or what the relationship is. Yeah. You know, like, I don't know, like I that's how I feel about it. And it just, like, I feel like more and more and more lately I'm starting to see people that are just like jumping into something, and it's like, oh, you know, if only this or if only that, or, you know, da 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 da. And it's like, well, that didn't happen. Yeah. So what's the next logical step? Yeah. And I just hope that enough people learn to take the next logical step. Yeah.
Yeah, it's always a difficult thing. Especially if, like, some of those people, I think what ends up happening is they end up pining and falling more into this, of the idea, going back to that, right, of what this relationship could be.
Well, the thing with that is that that's not, even if we're talking about, you know, let's abandon the platonic ship for a second. Yeah. Even if you're talking about an actual relationship or actual feelings for somebody, another thing that a lot of people can't clearly define lately is love versus lust.
Oh, yeah, that's very true.
And you could lust after somebody like crazy, and it's the best feeling in the world, and it feels amazing. But what you'll find is that it's hollow. Yeah. Like, I've been there too. Like, I've been in situations where it's like, this person means the world to me, this person is this person is that, and then this person just kind of cut things off, and you die inside. Yeah. But because you believed that you loved that person. when in actuality, was it lust? Was it actual love? Do you know what love is? And
I want to know what love is.
I don't want you to show me. Like that's why, like, you know, you look at statistics like the divorce rate. That's why the divorce rate's so high. That's why you have people that are essentially stuck in miserable marriages because they heavily lusted after somebody and then it just wore off.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And that sucks. But, you know, you didn't have the emotional understanding that you have when you get where you are.
Yeah.
And that it's a crap feeling. It's a really crap feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you can have a healthy, non-romantic relationship with somebody that you're attracted to. I believe it wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
Like I am heterosexual male. I have plenty of gay friends.
Yeah.
And I'm also a spiritual man and I have plenty of gay friends.
Yeah.
Which is weird to some people. I don't know why, but
that concept is weird. That's weird to people.
I don't get it. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't hate anyone. You know what I mean? Like and the truth of the matter is like you know better than most people. I have been burned by people very, very close to me.
Yeah.
And I don't hate anyone for it. It's all just contributed to the person I am today. It's why I can have a healthy friendship with somebody that I'm attracted to, or it's why I can continue to exist, if you will. But not everybody's like that. Not everybody's like me, and I respect that. But I would love to help anybody that is going down that road, with successfully navigating that path.
Yeah.
Because we walk in circles with a lot of people who are younger than us.
Yes.
And I'm not going to name names specifically, but I feel like there are some people who could use the benefit of my hindsight.
Yeah.
And the truth is, I'm not as good as taking my own advice as I am at giving it, but I would love to give anybody who is following my lead the benefit of my hindsight with some of the things that I've been through.
Yeah.
Like I have a homie that is really kind of going through it because she, without naming names, is trying Phyllis. We'll call her Phyllis. Phyllis and Harold are married. Okay.
To each other?
To each other.
Okay.
And Phyllis and Harold have done the marriage thing. They had did it for a little bit.
Yeah.
And then Phyllis caught Harold in a very, very compromising position. And it wasn't the first time that Harold was caught. And so Phyllis decided that she was done with Harold.
Yeah.
Now, Harold is from Brazil. So in order for Harold to stay here, he has to stay married to Phyllis.
Oh, gotcha.
And Phyllis is such a sweetheart that she's willing to do that. But now Phyllis and Harold are trying to navigate separate lives as legal spouses that share space. And just being on the outside looking in, it is not easy.
No.
And there are very trying times for the both of them.
Yeah.
And my heart goes out to the both of them because they both seem like very good people to me.
Yeah.
But it's not easy to just go from A to B and back to A.
Yeah.
But it is possible and you can do it. You just have to be healthy and mature about it.
Yeah.
That's my point.
And I can only imagine what it's like for Phyllis and Harold if they found another significant other to be with.
This story gets very, very weird. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to go into details,
And that totally
but
get
this
it.
story gets super. Well, let me not say weird, because that would be offensive to people who live that type of lifestyle. But yeah,
So-
this story gets there. This story gets weird.
I don't. Okay, so I'm just gonna ask a question then, or Phyllis or Harold. Did the other get upset that the other one found someone new, even though they're trying to maintain this legal marriage for the benefit?
How can I put this? The only way to put it is to explain what happened. So let's say, okay, so Phyllis and Harold decide that this isn't working.
Yeah.
Okay. And after reluctance, now Phyllis had moved on already.
Gotcha.
Like she
checked out.
She checked out. Harold had not quite checked out. So in an effort to help Harold check out, Phyllis found Linda and hooked Linda and Harold up. Right?
Gotcha.
So while
She used
Phyllis-
decoy ninjutsu.
So while Phyllis had moved on to James,
Okay.
in order to help Harold cope, she found Linda. Now, Harold and Linda are like this,
Okay.
and Phyllis and James,
Not so much.
not so much. So now it's just super, super awkward.
Is Phyllis now upset?
I believe so.
Wow.
She'll never cop to it,
Yeah.
but I think, and it's not about him.
Yeah.
It's just about the situation.
Gotcha.
And the problem is that in terms of, in the realm of what we're discussing,
Yeah.
like, could they have a friendship? I believe so.
Yeah.
But they would both have to be extremely mature about it. And I don't think either of them are at that level of maturity just
yeah.
yet.
Yeah.
So my heart goes out to both of them, man. Like,
Yeah.
and the funny thing is I can just randomly pull a story from anywhere
Yeah.
of just going through stuff like this, but it's like I just want, the whole point of this thing is just to kind of help people surround themselves with positivity
Yeah.
and to let you know that there is hope out there.
Yeah.
Now, before we had this conversation, I meant to actually research the actual Earth population.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, there's a 50-50 chance that the Earth's population is an odd number.
Yeah. Oh, someone's getting left out.
So the truth is that there may not be someone for everybody.
Yeah. And sometimes there are multiple people for people.
That too.
Yeah.
You know, like I genuinely used to believe in soulmates. I don't
No.
believe in soulmates anymore.
No.
Which is like, I believe in my soul and my health.
Yeah.
But I really don't believe in soulmates. Now, will something happen to me or happen in life or happen with someone else that changes that belief? Maybe. But right now, it's very, very difficult to believe in soulmates.
Now, I got a question. Did something occur to make you think that? Did something something challenge your previous thought process?
Yes.
Yeah.
And like I don't want to get into specifics because it would involve calling people out.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is like, as far as soulmates go,
Yeah.
you could be in the presence of someone that you think is just like, that's it.
Yeah.
Like, this is it.
Yeah.
And based on the conversation that we're having, that person could feel completely different.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that's, for a long time, to me, that wasn't okay.
Yeah.
Like, that was like, how can this be possible? I know that you are my soulmate.
Yeah.
And it just wasn't there.
Yeah.
And that's when I was like, it's not. Because the truth is, when you're younger, you can get that feeling and just jump from ship to ship to ship to ship. I know people that have. I know someone that's on their third marriage.
Wow.
That I know of. That's married to someone that's on their second marriage.
Wow. Okay.
And it's like, if that is the case, either we're all terrible at finding soulmates, or the concept just doesn't exist.
I think some people may pull the trigger too fast on the whole marriage bit.
Yeah.
I think that's something that could be. And I think also people change.
This is true.
Think about who you are now versus who you were 2 years ago versus who you were 5 years ago, so on and so forth.
Right.
Ad nauseum. Sometimes when people are going down that path together and people change, there could possibly end up being a disconnect. That could be something that happens.
And that's okay.
That's okay.
But what I'm saying is,
yeah.
if that's a possibility, if that's even a possibility, and it is a huge possibility, how can the concept of a soulmate exist?
Yeah.
Like, it can't. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, now you could change completely, and your partner could adapt to that change.
Yeah.
That's any type of relationship.
Caitlyn Jenner.
Caitlyn Jenner. Over the last 36 years of my life, I know I'm not the same person I was when I came out the womb.
Yeah.
I'm not the same person I was when I moved back to Tampa from Orlando.
Yeah.
But I have friends like you, like Stanley, like, I'm not going to name all of my list of friends, my cousins, my family that have all adapted to the different changes that I've made in my life.
Yeah.
And I've adapted the changes that they've made in their various lifestyles.
Yeah.
The friends that we have that you and I could both name that have fallen off have not adapted. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
The partners that we've had in the past that when you change, disappear, that have fallen off, didn't adapt. But there was a time when you felt like that person
was it.
Yeah. Like before I moved to Orlando, I was seeing a young lady, and when I moved to Orlando, she was very upset that I didn't ask her to move to Orlando with me.
Really?
And yeah. Oh yeah.
Really? I think it's the first I heard about this.
She was not happy. And we talked about it on the phone, and it's like, I am in classes 20 hours a day.
Yeah.
Like, the type of person that you are,
you need
constant the freedom to be able to do the things you want to do, or you need the attention that I can't give you right now.
Yeah.
Because there were times when we were together when she had just come from somebody else's house. And it's like, I've never been okay with that sort of thing.
Oh, like coming from someone else's house.
Yeah, like coming from someone else's house.
Okay.
And it was the way that it was explained to me, because I was emotionally immature and I was naive, was, that's not a thing. I was just there. So it's like, okay, well, now you're just here.
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand how this is supposed to work.
Yeah.
So then I moved to Orlando, and they were pissed. And then after, now this person, from what I understand, because we have some mutuals, they're married, they're very happy. But this was somebody that told me that they were convinced that they were falling for me and that I was the one and that I was their soulmate. And now you happily married with somebody else. And if you're listening to this, shout out to you, because you know who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at you. I don't hate you, nothing like that. But, good for her.
Yeah.
And that's where I'm at. You know? Like, I just want to be able to, for everybody to have that sort of peace of mind.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it. You good?
Yeah, I'm fine. My phone was going ham, and I'm like, what is going on here?
Gotcha. You look very concerned.
Yeah, like I just got 17 messages in a row, and I was just checking to make sure that it wasn't, that can't be right. Oh,
Okay. But yeah, whoa, what?
Yeah.
Holy crap. Hold on.
That's bananas.
Okay, sorry about that, folks. We just saw that there was a news headline that Kobe Bryant he died in a helicopter crash.
Yeah,
so
rest in peace to Kobe.
that was
Condolences to the fam. Yeah, that threw me off.
Yeah, that's something I didn't expect to see. But we actually have a comment from the live studio audience who has an interesting thoughts on soulmates and how in current times where society expects that the one person we marry or love will fulfill every facet of your needs. While in previous societies, people receive different types of fulfillment from outside the relationship, meaning like work, bowling friends, and other like clubs and stuff like that. So there was less pressure on the marriage to sustain everything. I'm more in that thought camp. Like, me and the live studio audience, we're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Yet we still have hobbies that we do outside. Like, for instance, she went and worked out today, went on a walk, did all that stuff. I handle stuff, did whatever I need to do around the house.
Right.
Every 2 weeks, I go out and I play Smash Brothers in tournaments.
Right.
We don't need to be around each other 24/7, and we don't need that one person for every single aspect of our life.
And that is healthy.
Yeah. And it's one of the things that she said to me when we first started dating. She's like, I have my life, you have yours. I'm going to do things that I do. Like, she goes in kayaks and stuff like that. I swim like a rock. So I don't go kayaking because I'll die. There's a good chance I'll die. And that would put a damper on everything.
Yeah,
in our
we need you,
relationship.
Marvin.
Exactly. So, and I think she has a point with that. A lot of people put a lot, like way too much at stake and a lot of pressure on their significant other in a marriage.
Yeah.
In
in a relationship,
in relationships, it's like,
it's unfair
Yeah.
to put that kind of pressure on somebody else. Like Will Smith famously said that he told Jada Pinkett that he was giving up on trying to make her happy.
Yeah.
And it made their marriage better.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people get that,
Yeah.
you know? But then again, Will Smith is kind of a child of the old school. Like, I think he's in his 50s.
Yeah.
But yeah, like he, you know, like...
I also heard that their relationship is open. I'm not sure how true that is. Yeah.
I never heard that.
Yeah. I think, I want to say it was on our podcast last week, In Our Honest Opinion. I think we had talked about something like that. Or was it at work? I don't remember. But I don't know how true it is, but I heard that they
I'll have to do some research on that,
yeah.
man. But even then, you know, like, it does seem to me, I will be honest with you, it does seem to me like in terms of relationships, the people that I know that are in open relationships are very, very happy.
Yeah.
Like...
And there's nothing wrong with that. It's not for me.
Yeah, it's not for me, but I totally get it. I totally get it.
Yeah. I get jealous, and I don't like that. That's just not how I operate.
Well, I'm, you know, like the truth of the matter is like something that I'm learning about myself is that to me, I don't define intimacy the way that other people define intimacy.
Yeah.
Like to me, intimacy is like very, very personal.
Yeah.
And you can have intimacy without having sex.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of people just kind of rope it all in together because intimacy is a cool word.
Yeah.
And because Target sells underwear for women as intimates.
Intimates, yeah.
And it's a bummer, but that is something, again, that I'm learning about myself over the past couple of years is that sex just isn't that important to me personally.
Yeah.
Now, there are people that are like, I have to be touched, I have to be loved, I have to do this, I have to do that. And I don't have a problem doing that with my partner. If that's something that my partner wants, but it's not a necessity for me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like for me, I'm more about like my mental health, my well-being, like my joy and my contentment.
Yeah.
Than I am about trying to please somebody else or trying to, get it in or whatever the case may be. Not that it's not enjoyable, but I think there are people that base relationships completely on sex.
Yeah.
And not only is that ridiculously unhealthy, but it leads to infidelities.
Yeah.
when you're not having those needs met.
Yeah.
Now, what are your options? You can be miserable.
Yeah.
If that's one of your needs, or you can open it up for somebody else to meet those needs.
Yeah.
And then just meet the emotional need. And that's why I respect people in like open relationships or like healthy polyamorous couples.
Yeah.
But it's not for me.
Yeah.
Personally.
Yeah. I hear you. Definitely. And we're actually at about an hour.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow, that seemed to fly by.
It most certainly did.
Holy smokes. That was a good talk.
It definitely was. Do you have any last things to say about it?
Not really. Just, live each day going into the world, trying to leave it better than it was when you found it.
Yeah.
Those are words to live by. Those are words I try to live by.
Yeah.
Whether it's recycling, saying what's up to somebody. And also, you would be surprised how far, hey, are you okay, will go
Vibe check
with someone. Just random vibe check.
Yep.
But aside from that, man, we can all be friends. We can all get along. We can be attracted to each other. We just don't have to be toxic about it.
Yeah.
And those are my closing thoughts.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely good closing thoughts. Where can they find you?
I am at Objection, spelled phonetically, OBJECKSHUN, on legitimately everything, except maybe LinkedIn. I think that's still Brandon Jones, but on Twitter, at Objection, Facebook, Brandon Jones, Twitch, Xbox Live, Switch Online, PSN, Instagram, at Objection. Give me a follow. I'm going to start getting more active with my socials. But mad love, peace to all y'all. Stay blessed. And be cool.
Yeah, yeah. And you can find me on buddytalkspodcast.com. All my links are there. You can also find me at The Artful Gent on Twitter or Buddy Talks on Twitter. Thanks again, Brandon, for coming on and having this deep conversation.
It was a blast. Thanks for having me. Can't wait to come back.
Oh, definitely. You guys have a fantastic whatever day, week, whatever you're feeling. See you later.
Peace out.